This man just makes contraptions that should definitely not be on. Should definitely not have been made.
So today I'm going to break some stuff with it, and possibly
I have
myself.
no idea what the hell that is.
It's a spring trap from like Clash of
Now,
Clans.
the spring trap from Clash of Clans doesn't work like a mouse trap or bear trap. In fact, it's kind of the opposite of a trap. There's no trapping involved. It defeats the purpose of a trap, as it just throws whatever.
He also refuses to wear shoes.
There's no trapping involved. It defeats.
I'm already
the purpose
very
of the trap,
uncomfortable
as it
watching
just
this.
throws whatever steps on it away or closer to.
Why? Because
using a big
because he just.
Spring. And big springs aren't even the best if you want to throw people.
Use the mousetrap
My
on
preferred method
himself.
would probably be a car airbag,
Pretty much.
which would allow me to finally live out
Why
my
is
dream
he
of
taking
being
a car
alive.
airbag apart?
Or the much more practical and safer option would be compressed air, which is favoured by the
What
special
is he
effects
doing?
industry when throwing Korean pop stars in the air. But Clash of Clans wants me to use a giant spring and also not to throw Koreans, which is a shame, but also good as a giant.
Clash of Clans wants me to use a giant spring and also not throw Koreans. What kind of fucking sentence is that?
Giant spring is going to be a lot more fun and dangerous. So I started by stealing 2 of these from a children's playground, and they are car suspension springs, which
Okay.
I think will work, as I've seen
stole
videos of them
from-
shooting a mechanic's apprentice across the room.
stole from
And the plan is
children.
pretty simple. The spring is
I stole from the kids. Fuck them kids.
compressed in a box with a platform on.
They don't deserve
Essentially
shit.
like a giant jack-in-the-box. And then when you step on the platform, the spring releases upwards with 500 kilos of force. And this drawing isn't just
500 kilos of force?
And not the scale.
Let's see. Kilos to pounds is 2.2 conversion. That's about 1,000 pounds of force.
scale, by the way. And in the game, the trap is even able to launch giants in the air, so I'm just going to pretend a giant weighs less than 500 kilos. But as for launching a normal-sized person, here's
Okay.
some maths my mate did, so you can't blame me if it's wrong. And he said it'll be enough energy to launch a 75-kilo person upwards at 65 meters a second. And to put that in perspective, this is that same 75-kilo mate eating a meat pie at 0.1 meters a second.
What the fuck's a meat pie? Oh yeah, this motherfucker is Australian too.
Then I also made this winch from a winch I bought online. Then I just welded up a box for
Why
it
is
to
he...
go. I
Okay.
also welded up a frame with a big pipe in the middle.
You know, for something so dangerous, he has very, like, calming music in the background. Just very nice jazz piano in the background.
For something so dangerous, Homeboy should be wearing shoes and gloves.
Yeah, that too.
So that the spring will sit
He's at least wearing eye protection. Kind of.
around it
Sometimes.
and hopefully will be nice and comfy. If someone steps on the trap, it goes off. And I think it's almost done.
This seems
Or done
very
enough to do a
safe.
proper test and see if the winch is even strong enough to fully compress the spring and then release it. And I know I say
This-
this a lot in every video whenever I do something dangerous, but this is by far the most dangerous thing I've ever done. The power in these springs is more than enough to kill me.
And he
my
made a
mate,
hammer
the
with
delivery
a
man,
50
and that guy that
cal
walks
bullet
past my
inside of
house
it.
and puts dog poop in my bin, and even you watching at home. And that's why I'm so excited to test this. Oh, in the garage, I took it to my mate's warehouse to test it out. But unfortunately, my
What?
camera didn't record, but luckily I have his mobile footage.
Excuse me?
Yep. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, shit.
That's why you do it outside.
And that was
I was about to say they had a mechanical
very
failure.
impressive.
And then
Especially
it actually
considering
went
those
off.
bags were filled with 20 kilos of lead shot each, so 40 kilos or 80 pounds of combined weight. But it's also kind of annoying, as originally I wanted to do the real test in my yard, but after seeing the
80
power it has, I don't
pounds
think
of
I can,
weight?
as I live next to a preschool, and 12 kilo springs and kids don't mix that well. So instead I'm going to drop it on one of you,
Kids and spring traps don't
and I went
mix
back
well.
to Hamilton's farm,
Who
who was
knew?
nice enough to let me use it to spin up the giant Beyblade, and now he's going to let me use this monstrosity on his land. But first we had to dig up the ground. And we were about to start digging, but Hamilton thought of a really great idea to save time, and that was just to use part of this wombat hole to make it easier.
How do we tell if there's a wombat in here or not?
That's a good question.
And this was his idea, not mine, so you can get angry at him. And unlike the wombat, the leeches were very happy to see us digging. And in a matter of minutes, we had 10 or so on our feet, which I won't show you. Okay, that was pretty easy. So we put it in the ground with some grass.
The one
around
time
it to
he's
make it
wearing
look
shoes
like it
is
belongs.
outside.
And I just
Too.
realized the worst case scenario for this trap, only after putting it in the ground. And that would be that when we winch the platform all the way down and then pull the quick release, it doesn't release. And then we are stuck with a loaded trap buried in the ground. And I guess we could also reverse the winch, but there's a chance that that doesn't work. And then I have no idea what we'll do. Maybe we can just leave it on Hamilton's farm
sounds so
until it goes off
safe
naturally.
and everything.
Also, another potential problem, since I'm using my car battery, if I use the winch for too long and it draws all the power, we are then stuck here on the farm.
Yep.
Why don't you have a spare car battery? Go to Walmart. Go to Kohl's or something and get an extra battery. Just the tension of that thing loading.
Ah. Well, now you just have a trap.
But luckily none of that was a problem for us, as it didn't work. So I tried again.
Is this thing waterlogged? Oh, no. I think it dug itself out.
That's
Wait,
what it looked
pulled
like.
itself out of the ground.
And I wasn't happy with that at all. The melon didn't go very high. Unlike the spring trap, which almost jumped completely out of the ground. And so did the spring out of its cage. This guy here is meant to be on the outside of the pipe. But you can see that, look, it's now on the inside of the pipe. Okay, and I realized pretty quickly that I wasn't going to be able to fix the problem on Hamilton's farm. So I took it back home to figure out. But then I realized it was worse than I thought, and the spring was actually stuck under tension, which made trying to fix the problem terrifying, which is why I called my mate over to stick his face really close to the high-powered spring.
Hey friend, I need you to fix something for me. It
What a
might
great
destroy
friend
you in
you
the process.
are.
But hey, do it for me.
Hey, I don't want to risk myself to do this. Can you do it for me?
And I'm not completely sure what happened, but I suspect it may have been the heavier wooden platform on top, which caused the spring to overextend and get caught on the inside sleeve. As when we tested it in my mate's workshop, we did it without the platform on top. But eventually we figured out what we needed to do, and my mate cut out some wedges on the bandsaw. And then we shoved them
Feels
in.
like I need your ear protection. No, here, let me
I
put my
need the ear
hand over your
protection.
ears.
Yeah, sure. Let me just use my hands over here.
Nice, now I got a nice sharp stick that can fly out.
Oh,
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah.
just swing and run. Oh, there we go.
So I re-welded on the support in a way that hopefully doesn't get caught, and also made a lighter platform, and then set it up in my yard because I can't be bothered to go back to the farm.
So apparently the school children wasn't the problem. I think you need more weight. It also just completely destroyed that
And
watermelon.
that split the melon in half just from the impact of the launch, but it didn't go that high.
Separated the springs again, broke the weight, and it stuck again.
And also the spring
Impressive though.
did this thing again, but
It
this
just
time even
completely
worse.
destroyed itself.
You're not meant to be on the inside. You're meant to be on the outside like the others.
So now I'm once again shoving a chisel into a loaded car suspension spring, expecting it to shoot through my head at any moment.
This is so safe.
And I fixed that, but then discovered some other mysterious damage, like the cable that had almost snapped, and also this bolt hole which is somehow completely squished. So once I fixed all of that, I set it up for another test with this mannequin, which I
This
stuck
is
3
so
bags of sand
so safe. Why is this man doing this?
into, so it weighs 60
Why is no one wearing shoes?
kilos or 130 pounds. And I know you all want me to stand on top of this spring trap, and I will, if this mannequin looks like it survives the launch. Okay, that's not going to happen. The mannequin is too heavy and is bending the spring in weird directions. So instead I used this baby doll, which I stuffed with metal weights just like a real baby.
Oh God.
This man has to be put on a
Ain't
list.
it?
This man has to be on a list of some kind. He just kept smacking the shit out of that baby. Okay, baby didn't go that high.
And that didn't do much to the baby. I think I did way more damage when I was missing the trigger with the stick.
I think so
I
too.
tried again.
It's bending in a weird way. I think he broke it again.
Yeah,
And that
I
was
think
alright,
that's a
although
failure.
I feel like the spring trap uses its energy to do more damage to itself than anything else I
Yeah.
put on top of it. But if you want to see a spring trap working properly, go download Clash of Clans and scan my QR code and join the event to not only plant trees, but also potentially win a Tesla. Also, a hot tip for new and existing players, you should get the builder package for your town, because that gives you the advantage of progressing quickly in the early stages of the game.